Oh, I know N.W.A story that I probably haven't told. I hope I'm not telling it twice. But this is what I'm surprised, like, they never really talk about. When Eazy E came out, when they first recorded, we all know how they recorded Boys in the Hood. At this point, when they recorded Boys in the Hood, and they got Eazy to do the song, because the guys who they got, homeboys only, they decided not to do it or whatever, and they got Eazy to do it. At this point, there was no group. A lot of people forget that. There was no N.W.A. None of that. So when everything came down to, like, because Ren wasn't even there when they made that song, Boys in the Hood, and Q was with CIA at the time with Sir Jinx. So Q wasn't even trying to be on the song. He was like, I'll write it, but I ain't gonna rap it. So I can't be on it. Jinx don't flip out. Because in the back of his mind, he didn't think, he wanted to be a writer. Like, yeah, I'll write the rhymes and Eazy E put them out and we'll get paid on the talent. Like, those was going to be the artists. And they was just going to sit back and get the money, and Q was going to be the writer of the songs. Now it's about him actually rapping. And so he didn't want to do it. So once they got Eazy E to do it, and the song took off, that's when things started changing. That's when they was like, hey, and he was like, man, my boy Ren right. Ren could rap too. Like, he got rhymes. Boys in the Hood was hot. They brought Ren into the fold. And they forming a group now. N.W.A. But before that, that was never, like, set out to be a plan. I'm surprised no one ever talked about, like, how they got together. Because once the song got hot, nobody knew what Eazy E looked like. Because unless you was on East Side, South Compton, you didn't know who Eazy E was. So the only thing you had to relate to him was the music. And if you bought the record, it just had Ruthless Records on it, Boys in the Hood. There was no picture of Eazy E. So when they did a show saying, this is Eazy E, and they come out, they do the show, and they they doing the skating rink. They did, what they did, like, they performed at the skating rink, they performed at, some, like, banquet hall. Anywhere they could get a spot where they can get some shine, that's where they were performing. But when they did the performance, and Boys in the Hood and Eazy E is up there and they doing the songs, people thought Ice Cube was Eazy E's big brother. And Eazy E was like 15 years old. So the rumors started spreading out throughout the streets that it was this 15-year-old kid who made Boys in the Hood, named Eazy E. So they played off of it. And they thought, like, this is going to be our look. Cube, you the brother of Eazy E. You the big brother, Eazy E the 15-year-old. It was hilarious. Hilarious. But it was not going to stick. Because people who knew Eazy E was like, no, that's crazy. No, that's a grown man. He's older than Cube. What is he talking about? Like, so it was, the rumor had went everywhere. They just had fun with it because the people had started it. Imagine this coming out in the Facebook or MySpace era or Black Planet era. There was no internet, no nothing. So what made it all funny was that they made fun of it when they were making the album because the song was so hot and the rumor was flying. Q was like, yeah, so I need to just go first. They was like, what? Yeah, man, I'm finna just go out and forget all the CIA stuff then. He wasn't talking about, oh man, Jinx gonna trip. We can come out with my album first. See, they never mention this stuff. This what kills me is that this is funny stuff. It's true, but they never mention it. Like in an interview or nothing, I'm like shocked. This is all classic stuff. I'm like, man, this was completely funny and completely true. And everybody's like, man, when did they get Miss Chalet? Miss Chalet been there. She was there when World Class Wrecking Crew. She was a groupie. She could sing, but she was a groupie of Lonzo. Now, don't ask me if Lonzo smashed and all that. I don't know. All I know, she was a groupie that ended up doing some background vocalist, and she couldn't get a record deal because everybody just said she wasn't good enough. So she could only do background vocalist roles. She wasn't strong enough to hold an album. So then she trying to, was hanging around Lonzo. Then Dre ended up picking up on her. Probably Yella had her. That was probably her Yella was talking to in the movie. But then her and Dre got tight and they was dating and she's on Turn Out the Lights. She's singing the background on that song. In actuality, that's on the Tupac. You can hear the streets and tell them I'll be waiting for you. My boy played that song to death. But getting back on topic. So Q wanted to go first. Like, man, but we could just drop my album now. They was like, nah, that don't make sense. We need to put out Eazy's record. So Eazy record was gonna be the first thing popping. But they had the JJ Fad thing and they wanted to put that out because Supersonic, the single was, oh my God. Supersonic. Supersonic. So JJ Fad launched the Ruthless Records website. I mean, not the website, the label. Because I swear, the summer of, what was that, 87? Summer of 87 was Supersonic. MC Hammer and Supersonic and Public Enemy, all that. It was crazy. Then, all of a sudden, we got Eazy's record. You got Eazy and them talking about it on Easier Said Than Done. Had all y'all thinking I was only 15. The girl is worth knowing. And they talk about the rumor and everything. Had all y'all thinking I was only 15. So yeah, Q wrote Easier Said Than Done. So he put it all in there. Then there was these other imitating Eazy E guys came out. Everybody had Eazy in their name. Easy Rob, Easy Chris. Everybody, it's the E this, E that. It was crazy in LA. LA, y'all was bugging. Because before Eazy E, all y'all had was Ice-T, basically. Everybody else was listening to some old school, like pop, disco type songs. Y'all wasn't listening to real gangster type music until this happened. Y'all was either some pop East Coast guys, but mostly West Coast. Y'all listening to some really weird type of hip hop back then. So when this dropped, it changed the game because they was still holding on to breakdancing out there. Shoot, they wouldn't let that go. It was. I'm like, oh my goodness, what are they listening to on the West Coast? They were still listening to Lakeside and the Gap Band. That's how far behind they had just failed. They just like, we ain't changing none of this. So when the P-Funk came, with the G-Funk rather, there it was. But man, it was a fun era, fun times. And I think I'm about done with that situation. They'll probably do something talking about the actors who were supposed to play in the movie. Yeah, we could talk about that. We'll do that at a later time. I had to go to this dealership. I'll be back.